Hello YouTubers and fellow hams. Well, it's Yuma Hamfest time here at Yuma, Arizona, down here in the southwestern corner of the US, the very southwestern corner of Arizona. February 18th and 19th are the dates this year. It's the usual time. And I decided to go down to the Hamfest and walk around a little bit and just check it out. I wasn't really planning on buying anything. In fact, I didn't actually buy anything, but had a nice time checking the place out and filmed a few interesting little tidbits and took some pictures. So we'll get into that here in a sec. And one quick note, for those of you that saw the last video on the binaural head microphone that I built, I took it along, and if you stick around to the end of the video, I did a little comparative test with it inside the big hall there, which I think you might find interesting. Okay, let's get right to it. The Yuma Hamfest is located at the Yuma Fairgrounds, which is right next to the big airport here on the south side of Yuma. It's a fairly decent sized little fairgrounds. Looking at it from the front, we can see that there is a big area for RV parking and a lot of snowbird hams in their RVs, and behind it was the flea market area. Off to the left there's some buildings and they have a big hall there. Back in the flea market, it's a big paved area that it occupies. Not as many vehicles here this year as a couple of years ago when I came to the Hamfest, but there were still lots of tables of things to find. Hello! Somebody waving at the camera. Looking at it from the back of the area next, we can see a little bit more of the setups there, the tables. Lots of people brought a lot of stuff out, so I went around and looked around on the tables to see what was there. Of course, we found the old radios, a beautiful old military radio. Hammerlands were there, all kinds of old boat anchors. A nice Zenith shortwave receiver, I love those. And tables of miscellaneous stuff to browse through. 10-tech radios and something for the ladies. You find stuff, all kinds of things. By the way, I always get asked where to look for variable caps for magnetic loops, and I always say Hamfests. You always find them there. There was a table full of Heath kits, looking in pretty good shape too. Heath kits were everywhere. Back at the hall, the line was forming up for people waiting to get in, but they were good enough to let me in ahead of time to do a little filming, so I walked in to take a look around. We had a few vendors set up with parts and things. Some associations and groups were set up. There was this electronics place, M-Tech, is always there, and they have tons and tons of parts. There were several parts vendors there. You could probably find just about any parts you were looking for, wire, coax, whatever. Back in the corner was the club's flea market area with tables and tables of things that the club members from Yuma had set up to sell. Lots of stuff in there to look through too. Like most Hamfests, you had plenty of radios and parts and doodads and tuners and antennas and all kinds of stuff to browse through and maybe find the one thing you're looking for. And for the ladies and non-hams, there were also vendors that had other things set up that they might find of interest, jewelry and knickknacks and crafts and stuff. Yeah, clothes even, bags and things. You never know what you'll find at a Hamfest. Outside were the list of seminars. Pause the video if you want to read any of these to see what was available. They were doing lots of different programs and seminars. And also there was a little food court with the usual highly priced vendor food. I went ahead and grabbed the menu in case you wanted to see, what the prices were. And I had myself a hot dog, and my friend Randy had a hamburger, and they were tasty. I think they were tasty. Here's a layout of the area with all of the buildings labeled. Pause the video if you want to take a longer look at that. Now, remember I said I did a binaural head test? Well, this is my binaural microphone. I set it up at the little stage up at the end of the hall. I wanted to get a ways away from the crowd so that I would get just the ambient audio of the room. What you're going to see first is the raw audio from the camera for about 10 seconds, and then you're going to hear the audio from the binaural head for about 15 seconds, so you can hear the ambient difference and how broad the stereo image is with the binaural head. Here we go. So there you go, the Yuma Hamfest 2022. Not as big as it was a couple of years ago when I went, but I'm sure that you know, things will bounce back over the next couple of years. We've had the dip due to COVID, of course, and yeah, we're starting to come out of that and recover. So I'm sure it'll grow. But it looks like the people that were there had a good time. I had a good time. I enjoyed walking around and seeing the stuff that was there and seeing the old radios, especially. You know, I kind of enjoy seeing those old machines that have been cleaned up and polished. Well, that's it. I'm getting ready to move to my quiet spot. So the next video, I don't know what it'll be. I got to do something this week, but I'll be in about another week or so. I'll be heading north. Okay, well, I guess we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not already a subscriber, click to subscribe. Join us on the Facebook channel for discussion about the videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please click to support me on my Patreon page.